Welcome back, everybody, to the Fantasy Football Bros podcast. It's your boy.
All I do is win, no matter what.
Chaz, we got a full house today. We are joined by, to my virtual right, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jay Coleman. Jay, what's up, dog?
What's up, boys?
I don't know, but at least on my screen, you guys are not pointing the right way. So
he's down for me.
He's over here for me.
Yeah, he's below for me.
I'm to the right of Chaz, so it was.
Well, apparently,
Sure.
Jay, you're their bottom. That's all I'm seeing right now.
Yeah.
Actually, who's my bottom right now? We got the no nickname, no nonsense,
It doesn't matter what your
Oh
name
my!
Adam Van Hal.
I
What's up?
am actually the other way. Dave is below you, but hey, dudes, how's it going, guys?
What's
Welcome.
And then, of course, the most important member of the show, we've got. She's right here. Come on, stand up there. Oh,
There's a tail.
Look at that ass.
Look at that ass. And yeah, of course, we got the fantasy football surgeon.
like a surgeon.
From the Let's Talk Nerdy podcast, we got Zags. What's up, man?
What's up, boys? How's it going?
It's going good. We got our second
yeah, it
week
is.
our brand new wave recording. I brought back Chaz's rock record review for everybody. It's because it
It's been a while.
5 months off, but a busy summer and then fantasy football season. We'll do that for you. But we're gonna make
You're a busy man.
a busy night.
Apparently,
A man of many talents.
for
Big
sure.
news, Adam. How do you like the new Fortnite map?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of dig it.
I
I
do
kind of dig it.
I like it.
I'm a big fan of it. I love how Fortnite updates their shit. It's
Yeah.
just so good.
It's fun, and that's the podcast, everybody. This week, thanks for joining.
Nerds.
Fantasy Fortnite Bros. Fantasy Fortnite Bros.
I love real quick that I'll be just like so juiced on something and I share it in a group chat and everybody's like, oh, that's sick. And then Jay's just like, fucking nerd.
That's his response to anything.
Just
Fucking
anything.
nerds.
I'm like,
I do
in
have
my
to
own
watch
head.
your latest episode still. I saw you guys put a another little short out about, or not a short, but a smaller video out about the new South Park game.
New South Park game, yeah. Review is up. I did not have good things to say about it. The first time
I'm not
that we talked
surprised.
about it, and second time it has not changed. So,
So do you played it? I didn't watch the review yet.
if you want a real quick, just like kind of synopsis of like why I hate it. I don't know if have you guys played the original first two games?
That's what I was going to say. Those two games, the Fractured Butthole and the Stick of Truth, are in my top 10 probably of like modern games of all time.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
Yep.
Absolutely love
Absolutely.
the games, right? And then this third installment that we're getting is now turning into what I kind of feel is a little bit of a cash grab, and we're no longer getting the storyline like we were getting in the first two games. This is now a multiplayer co-op brawler with very little storyline, where I just feel like you're going to load in with three of your friends and you're gonna go just take on like horde brawler situations with very little storyline, and I'm not about it. I'm very upset, and I let it be known.
Well, South Park and the video game franchise.
It's basically become like 90% of all video game franchises. It's cash grab.
When you
Did it-
mean online brawler, like is that like Smash Brothers kind of?
Think of it almost like the way that I kind of think of it is almost Fortnite would be kind of hard to explain, but think of it like you're loading in with three of your friends and you're going into a quote unquote base. Like Call of Duty Zombies, where it's just like
Right.
waves of zombies. Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
and three of your friends are gonna play as South Park characters, go into this base where other South Park characters, CPU characters by the way, are just gonna be attacking you, and the main mission is just to eliminate all of the enemies. And you're just
I
gonna
hate
be you're going to keep doing this just over and over and over. So all that great storyline that we were getting in the Stick of Truth and
Amazing.
the Fractured
Amazing.
Butthole, yeah, all the funny things that you love about South Park, pretty much gone. This is basically just going to be, you're going to load in to a matchmaking situation, kill some enemies, and jump out with no storyline, and just continuously do this over and over and over.
Gross.
I'm out on it.
That
Yeah.
doesn't sound like fun.
We're
Literally at all.
speaking of video games, tomorrow we're getting a Call of Duty competitor game tomorrow.
The hell? Oh, I thought
I don't
you were saying
I don't know
Call
what
of
that
Duty
means.
competitive. But what is
No.
a Call of Duty competitor?
Tarkov Arena is coming out tomorrow,
Oh,
and it's
shit.
basically I don't know if you guys know about Tarkov, but it's like
I've heard of it.
super realistic, military style ish, first-person shooter.
That you
but-
can only play in Russia or something, right?
No, you can play it here.
Oh, okay.
They're from Russia, but so they're coming out tomorrow. It's Arena, and it's basically kind of almost like Call of Duty, and they're planning on turning it into an esport game as well. So it's potential to be probably Call of Duty's only real competitor.
Well, you know what that
Yeah,
means.
that makes sense. 'Cause we yeah, he's done. Well, we did get a new Warzone map today. So he's done. Yeah, I mean he's on the bye week, just living it up.
And so Adam from the Let's Talk Nerdy podcast, this was our new audition to replace Dave on the podcast. Like, we can talk video games too, bro.
I'm sure he'd be more than happy to get rid of me.
Do we need to touch on the Von Miller situation, guys? I mean,
I don't care.
I mean, besides that, the Bills just dog shit handling of it. Yeah.
is it any better or worse than Matt Ariza? Matt Ariza, they go
No.
run and cut him, and the guy's innocent. And for Von Miller,
No,
they're saying, "Hey, let's wait."
I don't even mean by they should cut him or anything. They should just stay home. You're getting paid either
Yeah.
way. It's not like he's making an impact on the field anyway. So
Very true.
you might as well just stay home.
Facts. Yeah,
Very
I
true.
agree
So-
with that, Jay. I totally agree. And it's not. I mean, Matt Ariza is different because he. I mean, is it really that different? But he was a nobody as a punter. Nobody really cared. They made the right
Yeah.
decision on that one. But yeah, with the whole Von Miller thing, the reason why we can't cut him, for those of you who don't know, it's we have a stupid, ridiculous amount of money into him, and we can't cut him to get rid of it because we'll end up paying him, I think, more for cutting him than
Yeah,
he's even
for sure.
worth. So, but I agree, the handling of it is a little rough for me. Like anything that comes out like that, you see all these guys, they get in trouble, they get fined, they get cut. But for Von Miller, the least you could do is just be like, all right, dude, we can't have you around the facilities right now while this shit's going on. So just stay home. You're getting your money. Don't be anywhere near us.
Yeah. Bean's excuse was just weak, in my opinion. He was just like, well, we can't make everyone happy. So, just have them stay home.
Well, you're right about
That would-
I'm all for letting legal processes take. I mean, even during Deshaun Watson, that's what I was saying then. But you're right. He's not making an impact. He might as well be a third string. So keep him away, right? I totally. You're right. You're totally right about that. I mean, he might as well be Leonard Floyd's backup right now, right? Like he might as well be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd much rather have Leonard
And
Floyd
now-
out there anyway,
Yeah.
who's been making an even better impact than Von did even last year and beginning of this year before he got injured again.
And at this point, he's only taking reps away from Kingsley. So,
Right.
True.
I mean,
I think the other big news in fantasy football land, other than some injuries, is the rich getting richer and the Eagles signing Shaquille Leonard. Like, come on,
yeah, fucking ridiculous.
come on.
I
Didn't
was-
we need a linebacker?
Dude, I was blown away by Indy cutting him to begin with. It's just I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know why. But yeah, for them to now the Eagles, who I said it before we started recording, a very good defense, got even better.
Yeah, 100%.
To be fair, and to give them to give the NFL a little credit, maybe we're wrong because the dude cleared waivers and didn't get signed for 2 weeks. Maybe he's not.
Yeah, that's wild to me too.
Right?
But
Maybe he's not as good as he was. Maybe something.
Or
right?
he wanted too much money and teams didn't want to pay him.
But if
who knows?
they claimed him off of waivers,
Oh, that's true, yeah.
right? Like nobody
Yeah.
claimed him for waivers, so I don't know. So that's really the only news. There was a bunch of injuries. I think the major what's the major one coming out of the week?
Ramondre Stevenson.
Ramondre Stevenson, but the Ramondre
Yeah,
Stevenson,
Trevor
and Trevor-
Lawrence.
Yeah,
and
Trevor
Christian
Lawrence.
Kirk.
Yep, Christian Kirk.
Christian Kirk too,
Yeah.
who is on my fantasy team.
Hayden Hurst is all fucked up.
Hayden Hurst is in real bad shape. Dementia or something from a hit.
Yeah, it's like a post concussion something.
Amnesia. Post
Yeah. Yep.
concussion amnesia from a hit. Like that sounds like a lot.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a lot. I do want to just ask a question real quick though. Now that waivers have cleared, who do you guys think was the top pickup of the week? Were you guys heavier on Zeke or you guys heavier on Zay Jones?
Zay Jones. I would have if he was not available in any of my leagues, but I looked for him because he's gonna because Christian Kirk was doing good, right?
Yep.
And Zay Jones is stepping into that role where Ramondre Stevenson wasn't necessarily doing good, and Zeke. I don't know. I guess it depends on what you need, but if I had to rank them, I would have had Zay Jones.
Same.
So for me, it was Zeke, and the only reason is none of their quarterbacks can throw the ball, and I expect Zeke to get a lot of volume, and volume always turns into points. Not always, but for the most part, in theory, it should turn into a lot of points. Yeah. And they play Pittsburgh. They've been kind of spotty on the run defense lately. I don't know. I went with Zeke. I actually have Zeke in the Fantasy Football Bros podcast league, so I was all set there.
Nice. Yeah. Any other news to get on before we get into the review that I'm missing? Trevor Lawrence, you guys, you probably are not going to have Trevor Lawrence or Ramondre Stevenson and Christian Kirk for the rest of your fantasy season. So,
Yeah, probably.
I mean, for some leagues, playoffs are next week, so you're definitely not going to have any of those guys.
Dave, do you know of anybody that had Joe Burrow and then traded for Trevor Lawrence?
No.
I believe you did, didn't you?
No.
I thought you did in our other league where you had Burrow and then you made a trade for Lawrence. I thought I could be off. I'm pretty sure that's
the other league.
yeah.
Did I do that?
I think you did that.
Did I do that? Hold on.
Did you just turn into Urkel? Did I do that?
Oh, motherfucker, I did do that. Fuck that league, bro. Fuck that league.
Are you the fantasy football reaper now? You're not the surgeon anymore?
I don't know what it is because I got Christian Kirk in that league too. Is just
Oh
sitting
my
there with a nice
Oh,
O sitting
man.
next to his name. So yeah,
Here's Dave in that league.
yeah. Well, you know,
Reaper.
that league went to shit as soon as I took your advice and took Bijan. So
Oh my goodness! What you said. How'd your first round running back do in that league?
oh, we're gonna talk about him.
Yeah, so
Yeah, we're gonna talk about this motherfucker. Get your fucking ass off Twitch and jump over to YouTube because I got some shit to say to you, you fucking asshat.
You know what you should do when this comes out
another
as a clip?
Spicy Dave
Just
episode.
tag it to his his Twitter. He'll definitely look at it.
I went into his fucking Twitch. I'm not gonna lie. I went into his Twitch. I followed him and I dropped.
Dave
some
was
shit
trolling
in
him in Twitch.
He fucking ignored me.
yeah.
He just fucking ignored it. But I know you saw it. I know you fucking saw it, dude.
my goodness, I got Dave on fire. I like fired up Dave. It's fun. All right, let's get to our review this week, boys, and we are going to start with quarterbacks. So, any guesses before I bring it up? The number one quarterback of the league, of the week, I mean.
Purdy or
I feel
Gino,
like this is
right?
Yeah,
Trick
Purdy.
question. It's
It is
either
Purdy.
Purdy, Gino. Yeah.
Gino on my team this week. What a great pickup for me, except I didn't win. But anyway. But it's actually an interesting top 10. You had Geno Smith, Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, Jake Browning, Trevor Lawrence, Jalen Hurts. All you need is Jordan Love, Matthew Stafford, Sam Howell. Dave, look, Tua Tagovailoa is in the top 10. How do you,
Look, he
that's pretty-
fucking did something. There we go.
See, he
Russell
listened to you last
Wilson.
week.
Russell Westbrook Wilson, Gardner Minshew. There is your top 12. Joe Flacco was sitting right under there, too. I didn't even realize that. Look at the Flack man. Yeah, so I think that's an interesting top 10. My quick take is don't buy into Geno at all. The reason I started him in the Fantasy Football Bros this week is because A, I needed a quarterback, and B, I knew he was playing Dallas, and I felt it was going to be a shootout, and I was right. Jake Browning, don't buy it. I don't think I buy it. Do you guys buy it?
I don't buy it. No.
Probably
I don't
not.
buy it either.
But I mean, is there anything to the fact that he's been meh, he's been all right, and then he had a
I
big
mean, he's
game.
completing like 81% of his passes, so it's pretty good.
He's got
Yeah.
weapons. He's definitely got
My
weapons.
thing is too. I was just gonna say he's got all three of his wide receivers back, so I think that makes it a lot easier for him.
And Joe Mixon's cooking.
I wouldn't write him off. But there's obviously better quarterbacks out there that you'd start, and like you're
I
not
think he's
sitting
someone to keep an
Mahomes
eye on.
for him. You're not sitting Josh Allen for him.
No.
Like
I think he's someone to
I
keep
think
an eye
it was
on.
a one and done to be that high, but I think he'll still put up some numbers. He'll be like Jordan Love. Like he'll come out in the first half and be shit, and then throw up 20 points.
I think it has a lot to do with where we are in the fantasy season too. Like if we're sitting week 8 and it's like, I'll give Browning a shot, but like you guys said, we're getting into fantasy playoffs. Like, are you comfortable with Browning, like slotting Browning into your lineup for fantasy playoff?
I guess it depends
Not at
on
all.
where we are, Dave. Like the league that you had Burrow and then Lawrence. Like I know you're probably out of the playoffs in that league, but what's your move in that situation? You know, like,
I
you
mean,
could probably
Browning,
do
I
worse
guess.
than Browning, right?
Yeah, probably at this point, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know. I don't buy into the whole Browning thing.
I mean,
right now.
in our league, Browning's probably the best quarterback that's out there right now because I looked already.
Right. So, like, look at all these quarterbacks in our little league we're in. They're all owned. Browning's on a team, Love's on a team, but Love's been doing good. Russell Wilson's on a team. Gardner Minshew's on a team. Everybody's on a fucking team except Joe Flacco.
Yeah,
Can we look at where Mahomes is?
he had a bye. Oh no, they had the bye week
Might as
last
well
week.
have had a bye.
You skipped him.
Oh, you're right. He didn't.
Where did it?
Damn.
Where's
Or, like right there, 14
Right.
points.
Oh,
Right,
14.
Yeah.
right above the little fella.
Probably week, probably 14 on the week, 15 on the week.
Yeah.
Trash.
I never want to see people do bad, but I kind of love it. I kind of love just seeing, like, not seeing Patrick Mahomes at the top of this list every week.
It's definitely kind of nice, especially for, the fucking Bills' sake.
Yeah.
Outplayed
It's kind
by
of nice.
Jordan Love.
Outplayed by
Literally.
Joe Flacco, who was watching games on his couch 2 weeks ago.
Well, I just meant
Right.
in the actual game. Everybody was like, "Oh, it's Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs against poor widow Packers with Jordan Love, poor widow Packers without Aaron Rodgers. Oh, those poor widow Packers. Packers fucking crushed them, just like they crushed Detroit. Like Packers the the hottest team in football right now.
Definitely could be argued for sure.
It could be argued. Yeah, it could be argued.
I mean, it's just serious. I'm not a
I'm not going to go ahead and say yes, but I could definitely see an argument for it.
I'm not a Packers
I mean,
fan.
they've been playing well.
They have a 3-game winning streak against the Chargers, the Lions, and the Chiefs. I mean, that's pretty good. And before that, they lost to the Steelers at the end of the game and beat the Rams. And that's right when they kicked it in because they were not doing so well in the middle there. So, the Packers might be the hottest team in football. Like, I mean, the Lions did win, so it feels like the Lions have solidified winning that division. But the Packers could be fighting for a playoff berth still. So, just an interesting take. Jay, Mitch, please had 7 points. Your boy, and he's starting this week.
Herb's had 7 points too.
Oh, I know. What? How could this man, Justin Herbert, my guy at the beginning of the year, start off on fire and then just disappear? Herbert for the year. Herbert for the year. 20, 22, 29, 24, 20, 12, 24, 7, 29, 25, 14, 7. Like, what is happening?
I don't know. They're just in a I feel like the whole team's in a downward spiral.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Because you can see Keenan Allen is still doing great. He's still a great wide receiver on the year, but we're not seeing those big games from Keenan Allen either. The whole team is just on a downward spiral of just not producing.
Well,
And I don't know why.
That's
Keenan-
definitely a coaching
Keenan-
issue.
Keenan wasn't good this week. Last week he was good, but it was just because he had like 11 receptions. Like just because he was peppered, because he's like their only option. Like, did Mike Williams mean that much to this team? Because they haven't been the same.
I mean, they really haven't, and I don't understand why.
Yeah.
Well, I think their coach is awful. As much as we give Sean
Same.
McDermott,
I can't stand Brandon Staley.
He's-
Oh my
he's
God,
he
drives me nuts.
My buddy's a Chargers fan, and I always tell him there's no team in the NFL that can lose a game like the Chargers. It's just incredible at how they lose football games. It really is.
It really is.
It's
I
always
completely
something
agree.
so stupid that you're just like, I cannot believe that happened and you lost the game because of that. It's
Yeah.
insane.
100%.
Well, it comes
Literally.
from because Brandon Staley was like the toast of the town and everybody's favorite coach because he's the analytics guy. He was one of the first guys that were like flaunting
Yeah.
the analytics chart of when to go for it
Yeah,
on
let's
fourth.
let's go for it on fourth. Yeah, I agree. But
So
a lot of
everybody
those, and those are exactly what Dave's talking about. Is those decisions that he made were the ones that cost them games at the end, and it's like, so some computer told you that it was okay to go for it on fourth down, but you didn't make it. Like, where's the execution there? So like those calls and like not. Obviously not kicking or punting at, whatever yard line. It's like, man, it's so hard to watch the Chargers because they do have such great players on there. And, like, you just watch them not produce. And, of course, for fantasy owners like us who have stock in all these guys, it's like, what is happening? And I know we're going to get into it with Dave, but somebody who, like Austin Eckler, who loves his fantasy owners,
so great.
is not doing anything for them.
Stay tuned.
Staley should study the analytics of how many times he's lost a game by 2 points because he's a dum-dum.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
there's a lot there that he might be number one on the list for that one.
Yeah.
Somebody better call from our league's fireman John because Dave has thrown some heat out today, bro. All right, your number one wide receiver of the week is Deebo Samuel, followed very closely by DK Metcalf. A 0.4
Big
difference.
week.
That'd be 4 yards, folks. 4 yard difference. Tyreek Hill, Nico Collins, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans, Christian Watson, who I believe is dead, right?
Yep.
Michael Pittman Jr., Dave's boy Puka Nakua, and then 2 Eagles to round out the top 12 in Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. And just a couple of names that are creeping up here that should be discussed because they're interesting is 13, we got Adam's boy, Alec Pierce. 14,
Coming out
we got
late.
Dave's boy.
Finally, he makes an impact on a game. Jesus.
But here's a name for you guys. I don't know if you can see it. Parker Washington. What team does he play for?
No idea.
Hang on. Parker Washington, guys.
Shit. Yeah.
Well, he's your top 15 wide receiver from Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Forgot
So,
about that.
Yeah, right. Exactly. The names in the top 10. Debo, Debo's Debo. Debo and DK Metcalf are the same guy. They're up and down. You're going to get 40-point weeks. You're going to get 6-point weeks. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
No.
Not at all.
They're the same guy. They are the same guy. Tyreek Hill's
Yeah.
always showing up. Nico's always been showing up. But here's a guy I want to talk about. Jamar Chase, 33 points with Mr. Browning. Is this guy quarterback proof?
For 1
Well-
week, I don't know.
It's been 3 weeks. I mean, he didn't have a 33-point week, but let's see. Since Browning's had 3 starts, right? 9.2, whatever, 12 and 33. So he's got a touchdown in 2 of the 3 games. 2 of the 3
Yeah,
games.
but
If we take away the
7 targets.
75-yard,
Yeah.
if we
like,
take away the 75-yard touchdown, it looks a little different.
I'm not calling him quarterback proof with a 9 and a 12-point game for a first round pick. Sorry, it's just not going to happen.
I mean, I don't consider 9 against Baltimore bad. I mean, it could have been better, but it's Baltimore and Pittsburgh. It's
There's
not like they're
been
bad.
receivers that have had way better games than Jamar Chase against Baltimore.
But I was
So-
okay, how about 9 points against Cleveland and 8 points against Baltimore with the savior Joey B? It seems like he just
That
has
was-
a hard
yeah.
time in division. Maybe. Maybe he has a hard time in division because I don't know. I'm just
I don't
wondering
know.
because 2 out of 3 weeks he's got a touchdown. Dave, you want to take away that one big pass? Okay, go. That's totally fine. Then he still had 10 receptions for 80 yards. Right? Like that's still a good game, right?
Still a great game. I just at
so-
this point I would, I don't know. Touchdown proof is a little strong. I'm not worried about Jamar Chase. I'm obviously not
Right.
sitting
I'm not
Jamar
either.
Chase.
I'm not worried about him either.
I'm not worried about it, but I think there's still a little bit of like, when when that game starts, you're like, I really hope he shows up. You know what I mean? I don't think it's a set it and forget it like Jamar Chase should
Yeah.
be.
I think
the
him
worry-
and JJ are the same aspects of they are set it and forget it because you know what? Even if they can't have that 75-yard touchdown, they got young, inexperienced quarterbacks in there. They're their number one alpha receiver. Then if these guys turn into Christian Kirk and just get 9 receptions for 80 yards and happen to score a touchdown, still a good game. If they turn into a PPR guy.
I think the worry for me would be Browning. It's not Jamar Chase that I worry about. It'd be who's throwing him the ball. And we saw Joe Burrow struggle early on in the season, and he kind of found it a little bit. And now Jake Browning comes in, and he has a great game against Jacksonville.
What
But
if Jake
I don't
Browning
know.
what if Jake Browning is the new Brock Purdy? And what if Jake Browning all of a sudden everyone's like, they gave all this money to Joe Burrow and they got Jake Browning. Ah! What if that's going to happen now? What if is that a thing? We'll have to see.
I mean, sure, it's all speculation.
I
right?
wouldn't
I
bet
don't
my
think-
last
I
dollar
don't-
on it.
I wouldn't bet on that happening at all. Especially during fantasy playoffs, and especially if they're trying to make a run for the playoffs. Like,
They are trying to make a run for
they
the
did
playoffs.
have a really good win against Jacksonville, which was nice. But Trevor Lawrence did get hurt, so they dealt with a backup quarterback for the remainder of that game on Monday night. Yeah, I don't know.
Your number
I don't
one-
I don't disagree that you shouldn't sit Jamar Chase, right? Don't sit Jamar Chase. Like, he's not a guy that should be on your bench. But like I said, the question was, is he quarterback proof? I don't know.
All right. Well, your number 1 running back on the week is Joe Mixon. Number 2 is Alvin Kamara. Number 3 is Devin Achane, Derrick Henry, James Conner, Chuba Hubbard, and then we've got Isaiah.
Man, I see a lot of my running backs up there. That's crazy.
Isaiah Pacheco, Kyron Williams, Rashad White, Travis Etienne, and out of the graveyard still Tony Pollard. So, yeah, you've got, 3 there in the top 12?
Sure do.
Dave's the number 1 guy. Let's make Dave so happy.
Had to be good at something. So too little, too late. The story of my life.
Dave or Jay, your boy Kyron's still there.
Yeah.
Kyron ain't going
week.
nowhere.
Another 20-point week.
I think real quick, the real question is how are we feeling about ATN? He fine?
He's so hard to judge. Are you talking about if he's going to be healthy or?
Yeah.
Let's see what their latest update is.
So, do we have an update on Trevor Lawrence? I haven't even seen anything. Did
High
he tear
ankle
anything? Is he?
It was a high ankle
Oh, it's a
sprain.
high
They
ankle
said he
sprain?
was like.
Oh, pfft.
They said he might play, but they're not
Yeah,
sure.
but it's not
I've
like
seen,
it's not one that needs surgery.
yeah.
Yeah.
They said. So
That's fine.
Any surprises in this? I'll tell you what. Joe Mixon is your number 1 running back. Yes, it's a surprise, but keep firing up, guys, because they got Jake Browning. They're going to run the ball more.
Yep.
I agree.
Keep firing him up. Always
I
fire
don't
up.
know. I mean, he threw a lot against Jacksonville, so I don't know if that's going to happen every week. But I agree. I think they're going to hand off a lot more, and they certainly did, especially in the red zone. So
Devon Achane, you have to start him if you have him, unless you
I
just
agree.
have so much better options. He has to be in your lineup at least as your flex because this man is just electric. Electric. 25 points. I mean, he had a bunch.
Why'd you say it like that?
Electric. That's how it's spelled, bro.
Electric.
He is electric. It's electric. Boogie, boogie,
I don't
boogie.
disagree. I was just saying how you said it.
I'm pretty sure he's averaging somewhere around 2 points a touch. 2 points a touch for the year. That's insane.
Yeah, he's got some pretty good numbers for the year.
That's
If
insane.
that injury didn't stop him for 4 games, 5 games, whatever it was,
Dave, here's a
he'd
quick
be right
question.
up there.
Next year, as of right now, Devin Achane, is he a first-round fantasy football pick?
I think it depends on what they do with Mostert. If they cut ties and they say, Achane's our guy, definite first round. I wouldn't even if they don't commit to him though. I
Hello?
would say probably third round
Yeah,
at the latest.
Sorry, Dave. I don't mean to interrupt. I got to take this phone call real quick. It was for me.
I think no matter what they do with Mostert, I think he is a first-round pick because the running backs are trash. He's so electric, and he's so electric. The running backs are trash, and Mostert's going to be 32 or 33 next year. So even if he is the starter, he's going to fucking so.
I believe that. It's just hard to take a first-round running back that's even assumed to be in a timeshare at the start of the season. Don't you think?
Okay,
Yeah,
so if you're talking about Achane like that, why not Karen Williams? Is he a first round pick next year?
I don't know if Karen's a
They
first.
already cut ties. They already cut ties with their running backs.
I don't know if Karen's a first. He's probably second. I mean, you got to think. There's only going to be three
What makes
first-round.
him what makes him different from Achane?
You would take Karen
Why-
over Achan? That's a good question. Would you would take Karen over Achan?
Yeah,
Okay, interesting. What about you, Dave?
only
'Cause you know they're
and the reason
Karen-
being is the quarterback.
If Miami commits to Achan, I would take Achan over Kyron. If they don't, though, I'm probably with Adam. I'm going to go Kyron because I know it's a safer play, and you know that I'm a wuss, and I want a safe play as my first round pick, and I feel like Kyron would be a safer play.
I just am
at
not
that point.
afraid. I don't know why we're getting into next year right now. Jay, which one are you? I'm sure you're Kyron because that's your man crush.
Yeah, Kyron.
Yeah, I figured. I don't need them to commit to Achan and say that he's the guy over Raheem Mostert, who's been injured all the time, is about to be 33 years old. Because by next year, Achan's not a rookie anymore. So
Neither's Kyron.
well, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, so I'm going to take the running back from the Dolphins, who are the best offense in the NFL, over the running back from the Rams, who are a mid to lower offense in the NFL. Right? I mean, I guess that's
Okay.
just the way I boil down with it at that point, is all. But
That's
they'll
fine.
probably be right around each other.
Leave
be honest.
Kyron to me, buddy. I'll
Go
take
ahead.
him all day.
That's fine. Because there's only
I
probably
would
going to be, with the way people are receivers, you're probably going to get 3 running backs in the first round next year. Christian. And then who would be next? Would it be Achan? I wouldn't be surprised. It's not going to be Eckler. It's not going to be, probably not going to be Bijan. It's not going to be Tony Pollard. It's not going to be Derrick Henry.
This is
So-
Eckler's last season with the Chargers, though. So I guess it would depend on where he goes, if
I
he's
think he's
still
too-
up there or not.
I think he's too old, maybe, but you never know. I mean, he'd be like 30 next year, 29. This is like Derrick Henry's age, right? So if we're thinking Derrick Henry's old, don't we have to think Eckler's getting old?
Well, no one's saying he's not getting old, but
I'm putting
I
my
mean-
money down right now. Austin Eckler is not a top 2 pick next year. I think that's easy to say, especially after this year. All right, we'll move into the top tight ends really quick and get out of here because who cares? Sammy Laporta, what a guy. What a 29 points. This fucking guy. Evan Ingram, who? Where the hell's he been? 23 points. One of my steals on free agency of Trey McBride, 22 points. Jake Ferguson, a steal for Adam, 19 points. Harrison Bryant, Taysom Hill, Travis Kelce at 12, George Kittle, and Kyron Granson. Like, who fucking cares?
What a steal on Laporta, though.
What a steal. Laporta's a steal. And I'll tell you what, McBride, I think, is a steal. Right? I know Laporta's like on a different level. Right. Laporta's been doing it all year. But let's quickly just look over Trey McBride's last few games. Trey McBride since week 8, 25, 5, 21, 9, 13, and 22. Guys, I know we see that 5 in there. Throw it out, whatever. We see that 9 in there. We're usually happy with 9 points from a tight end.
For real.
So the fact that if you throw out 5, the guys had over 20 points 3 times plus a 13-point game. Like, awesome. And, of course, Sam Laporta's on a whole different level. Sam
Laporta's really good.
Yeah.
I love the way he runs routes, and it just gets open.
And I'll tell you, I gave Detroit some smoke, and I usually do, for taking Laporta over Michael Mayer. But to be fair, Michael Mayer's not being used. So, who knows? But tell me Sam Laporta's not Dan Campbell kind of guy. Just a big, bumbly guy, right?
Yeah.
And he's loving him and using him. So, and Taysom Hill was back from the dead, and he'll be dead next week. Let's just for funsies. Top kicker is Brandon Aubrey.
Yeah, whatever.
And the top defense is, who is it? The Chargers? Indy. Indy was the top defense.
Who cares?
Chargers were third. Okay, so there is that. So we'll get back to our full screen here.
Hey, nice to see you guys again.
Hey. So do you guys think that Sam Laporta is going to be a top what? 2 tight end next year? What about a top? Here's a scary food for thought. What if Sam Laporta is TE1 next year? Kelsey's only going to be older.
I think he's going to be TE3.
Yeah.
Because people are still going to be riding the Kelsey Hockenson
People
train.
are dumb.
But
and they're going to go Kelsey. They're still going to go Mark Andrews. They're still going to go TJ Hawkinson over him.
Why on earth? Here, I'm not arguing you. I say I can understand people taking Kelsey first. I understand. He's also going to be a year older. But why this Mark Andrews worship? I don't.
I don't have an answer.
I don't even
for
like
it.
him. So.
I just know how people draft, and he is always the next tight end picked after Kelsey.
Always.
He's been that way for like 5 years.
Yeah.
I'll give you Hawkinson, but I don't know. I think Kelsey's shown. I mean, he's still great, but I think he's shown he's declining a little, right? I mean,
sure, but that decline also comes with Patrick Mahomes declining a little bit because he has not had a good season.
Sure, but like
it's
I mean,
still a good season. Don't get me wrong, but it's not fantasy good season.
Still great. I don't know. I think there's a chance that people might look at Laporta, put him number 1. I mean, next year, your top 5 in tight ends drafted could be, folks, Travis Kelce, Sam Laporta, Dalton Kincaid, and then whomever else. It very well could be. It just...
yeah. I mean, maybe. We'll see how the season shakes out.
We're talking
it's fantasy football, man. We've all been around it for so long, and like we just know who's going to be picked. Okay, Sam Laporta is fantastic, and you better believe if he's there, I'm gonna take him because I ended up picking him up off waivers in one of my leagues, and he is killing it. But he's just, I don't know. He hasn't been consistent enough for me to want to pick him over those other guys. And neither has anybody else.
I don't have an answer.
I get that.
I don't have this answer, so I'm cueing these guys. Sam Laporta or Travis Kelce. Granted, Kelce missed a game, but who has more points this year? Just Jay.
Laporta.
What do you think? Laporta. Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, Laporta's got more points.
I don't even know. Kelsey's got 191. Kelsey has 191.
Maybe it is Kelsey then still.
And
I don't know.
And then Laporta's got 171. So Kelsey's still having the better year. With missing a game, to be fair. So, just food for thought, right?
Yeah, I mean, Kansas City still doesn't have any receivers. So it's always going to be Kelsey until they get a receiver.
True.
I think you do have to factor in also, though, that, obviously Casey started the year with Travis Kelce as the guy. Sam Laporta didn't get that clout until deeper into the season. I mean, they weren't they weren't looking at him the way that Mahomes looks at Kelsey in week 1.
Right.
It just wasn't happening.
sure.
So
Very true. Yeah.
For sure.
full season of being the guy. I mean, maybe that kind of evens out.
Well, that'll be our big debate next year. It's a lot more exciting than Pat Fryermuth versus Kyle Pitts. That's where we were at the beginning of this season.
Jesus.
So, all right, you know what, guys? Let's have a little fun.
Instead of swing, RBA goes down the middle. Slam dunk.
Get dunked on, bro.
Let's start with you, Zags.
I'm gonna take a real quick victory lap, and I'm gonna shout out, Mr. Joe Mick.
Duncan, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you listening?
I'm sorry.
Pay attention, buddy.
I'm sorry, boys. I'm sorry. I was sleepy.
He's so angry right now that he's confused.
I'm gonna keep
Wow.
it.
Hang
I'm
on,
gonna
Dave,
keep
I got-
it.
here's
Go
Dave's
ahead. Go ahead.
comment.
Hit me. Go ahead.
What? right now. I have no idea.
All right, Dave. Who are you dunking on?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my dunk of the week. I'm going to go out there and say that Mr. Austin Eckler will not be a second running back next season or any season after that, because the man is fucking dead to me, and I will never draft you ever fucking again. Ever.
Yes.
Ever. I don't care what. I don't care if you learn how to play quarterback and you are. I'm done. I'm done with Austin Eckler. The man is dead. You can fucking. I hope your Twitch career takes off, because your football career is in the fucking dumpster.
Well, and Dave has very specific reasons. I believe you have him in 3 leagues, Dave. Is this
3
true?
leagues. I have him in
So you
3
took him in the
leagues.
first round in 3 leagues.
In 3 leagues, took him.
Oof.
Yep. Yeah. You're dead to me. You're dead to me, bro.
Made the smart move, and I ended up actually in one of my leagues. I drafted Eckler as well. Actually, I kept him from the year before, but I ended up trading him away for a first-round pick. So, go me.
To
Like,
draft Austin Eckler next year.
Like, let's
God, no.
let's really talk about it for 1 second. Like, are we at the point where Austin Eckler needs to be benched? Like, do we need to bench Austin Eckler from your lineup?
It's so hard.
I think it's okay. I mean, so at this point, I'm looking at Austin Eckler as a flex. I mean, so like if you're thinking of benching Eckler as your 2 running backs, like, do you have 2 running backs better than him? You probably do. I mean, if you're looking at some of these later running backs like Kyron Williams that we're talking about, Achane, I'm starting both of them over Eckler. I'm starting David Montgomery over Eckler. I'm starting James Conner over Austin Eckler, right? Like, that's not crazy.
So in this league, I have Austin Eckler, Kyron Williams, and Isaiah Pacheco. Are you benching Eckler?
Yes.
Yeah.
So to me, he moves into the flex, and at that point, you probably have got a better flex. So you probably you've got Amari Cooper.
Kyron Williams and Isaiah Pacheco would be my RB1, RB2 if I bench Eckler.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
But,
mean,
like-
at this point, you have to.
It's crazy, right? It's absolutely crazy that I'm thinking about benching my first round pick.
It is a wild thought in the fantasy world. It's a crazy take, because you did draft him in the first round. It's like, but you also have to be a smart fantasy manager and like, hey, okay, this guy hasn't done anything for me. It might be time to sit down. I mean, at least warrant a flex play. But like Chaz said, you probably do have better flex options than that.
Dave, if he's sitting there looking at your flex and you've got Amari Cooper healthy, which one are you going to play? I feel like that's a good line right there.
That's a good. I mean, I don't know. I'm probably still going Eckler, because I don't know. It's my first round pick, and I just like, it's annoying that I have to make this decision. But it's like, in this real league, I have Puka. So I have AJ Brown, CD Lamb, and Puka, right? So my flex would either be Puka or Austin Eckler. Like, where are we going?
Puka.
Well, I mean, this week's easy because Puka's out. So
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know. It's just
but weeks
the whole
prior
thing
to that,
is.
yeah, I agree. It's tough to.
But that league you're talking about
It's tough to make
half
that
point
decision.
PPR, so right? That's your league?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that would veer more towards Eckler. And here's the thing, guys. Here's Dave's vitriol here about this. He's fired up and so mad at Austin Eckler, way more than he is than the league that he took Bijan Robinson as much as he's. But I mean, am I wrong? Though you're way more fired up and mad at Austin Eckler.
Oh yeah, no, 1,000%.
Yeah.
I break your balls about
here's-
Bijan. I'm genuinely mad about Eckler.
Yeah. And you should be. I mean, you should be. And that's not me rubbing it in for seeing it coming. That's me like, I would be. I mean, that's comparative to how much better is he than drafting Nick Chubb, who got hurt in the first week? You know, like, sure, he's a little better, but like.
Here's my dilemma this week. You ready for this one? Here's my running backs. I have Kyron Williams, obviously start, right? I have Bijan Robinson. I have Ken Walker and Zach Charbonnet, and I also have Rashad White.
I think you got to fire White up. White's been really consistent.
Dude, he's been so good, but that means I have to sit. I have to sit Bijan, and I've done that. I did that last week. I ended up winning, but it could have been by a lot more if I would have started Bijan with his 27
what
points.
I would say in that situation for you is if you need the points, go with Bijan. Bijan will have a bigger game if he has a big game. But if you
I'm
just
in
need
first
a
place.
steady floor, if you need your 14 to 16 points, then go with White because White will get it because of the balls he's been catching.
My
If you
wide
need 30?
receivers, no, my wide receivers are Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, Cooper Kupp. So it's either Bijan or Rashad White. Those are my options.
I mean, obviously I'm going to go Bijan. Why don't you give us your dunk?
My dunk this week. Good God, the NFL and their schedule maker. And the reason I say that is because why
Tonight's game?
on no, not tonight's game. Why on fucking earth would you give us a doubleheader on Monday night and put it at the same time? We have two games Monday night, and I'll tell you what they are because they're not really that great. I believe
Got Green
one
Bay
is
against the Giants.
Green Bay against the Giants, and we also have Tennessee against Miami, which is fine. I like to see Miami, whatever.
Tighten up.
At the same fucking time, 8:15, they both start, and like, are you expecting people to have like a double feature going on to watch both at the same time, or are they picking one or the other? Like, in the beginning of the season, it's great, right? You have one game that starts at 6:15, and then the other one starts at 8:15, right? You got 2 hours. At least you're watching, the fourth quarter in one game, and you're going into the first quarter in the other game. Like, but now these are at the same exact time, and I just don't understand what their logic is for it. And as a football fan, I love to watch football, right? Like, I will be one of those guys that has the double feature on if I have it available.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're fired up about
it's so
that.
annoying. It's
You're
so
fired
annoying,
up
and not
about
to
that.
mention the fucking game tomorrow night or
I'm gonna
tonight
say,
or whenever you guys
rather
are
than
listening to this is
Bailey-
the Patriots and the Steelers.
Bailey Zappi versus Mitch Please.
Mitch
Holy
Trubisky.
shit.
And Najee Harris is questionable to play, so we might not even see him. It might be the Jalen Warren show. And Ramondre Stevenson is gone. It's just gonna be a fucking snooze fest tomorrow night. And now I have to decide which game I want to watch. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's probably going to be Tennessee-Miami.
Whoever you have more fantasy players in.
That's literally what it's going to come down to. Who do I want to watch more? Who is on my fantasy team that I need to watch? The NFL, man, get it together with the scheduling and figure it out.
Very, very nice. Guys, before I get to your dunk, Jay, I forgot about one big major news for the week. All of us are idiots because we forgot. I'm back!
Double J here again.
He's back
Oh, yeah.
officially. He's back. We forgot.
Oh, yeah, they activated.
Put him in your lineup, guys. Like, of course. Like, give him a chance. Yes, he doesn't have Kirk Cousins, but look what Jamar Chase is doing with Jake Browning. Another.
And Josh Dobbs hasn't been that bad, so.
Another all. They were talking about benching Dobbs, but they did say Dobbs is.
They're not benching Dobbs, dude. Stop.
They were talking about it. But all right, Jake, go
No,
ahead
they
for your
weren't.
dunk.
My dunk is the New York Jets, and they're just I don't even know. They're a train wreck.
Dumpster fire.
Dude, like,
yeah.
I don't know how many times you can bench your starting quarterback and then go back to him and be like, please, can you start again for us? And then, be like, you're benched this week, and then the next week they're like, can you please come back and play for us? And they cut their old starting QB. Oh my, it's a fucking train wreck.
Hey, Aaron Rodgers, how you doing? You gonna come back and play?
No.
All right. Okay. Well, I mean, it's hard to beat that one, you guys.
I love how Aaron Rodgers was saying, like, oh, there's no downside to coming back. Like, what about the downside of being a part of this abysmal fucking football team? How about that?
Yeah, for real.
Oh boy. Well, my dunk is going to get personal.
Uh-oh.
And I'm getting personal with two players because I had the chance to solidify a playoff spot and in the Fantasy Football Bros League. By the way, folks, I'm hanging on for dear life in the Fantasy Football Bros. Not for dear life. There's a good chance I make the playoffs, but I'm sitting at the 6th spot, which is the last playoff spot, with the second most points in the fucking league. So it's just a weird, time. And as going into last week, I was first point.
Hey,
I go up.
I don't know if you looked at the standings. You don't have that asterisk next to your name yet, bud. You got to win this week to get in. I do have a chance to lose. But anyway. No, you don't. I'm looking at it right now. You don't have the asterisk, buddy.
No, I don't. I said I have a chance to lose and make
I thought you said you do. I'm like, wait, what? What are you looking at?
But here's where I'm going. I'm going up against the number one team in the league this year, Saints Joe. And number one team in the league, meaning I have more points than him. But still, he's got the better.
Are you talking about the other league, or are you talking about the Fantasy Football Bros League?
No, Fantasy Football Bros League. I just
no,
played.
I go against St. Joe's this
I'm
week.
talking about last week. Get off.
Dude, you are confusing the fuck of me.
All right. Anyway, I'm talking about last week. I didn't. So I'm going up against Saints Joe to chance to solidify my playoff spot. Knock him out of first place, which whatever would have been nice. Adam would appreciate that, I'm sure. I have more points than the kid all year. He has got a better record. So this motherfucker, yeah, Saints Joe, I'm talking to you, bro. You waltz in to my fucking bye week with Josh Allen on the bye week, with Stephon Diggs on the bye week, with fucking Jonathan Taylor with his fucking pinky hurt, and I lose the top 3 fucking players. Boom. So I'm pulling out from garbage heap, off the pile, Geno Smith. Put that motherfucker in. Bro lights it up and is the number 1 quarterback on the league. Joe fucking GG'd me Thursday night because of my Geno Smith performance. So I'm sitting here pretty. I'm like, all right, I got all my guys. I'm going to do good. Bam! Trey McBride, 25 points or something. Things are looking good. Things are looking up. And then we've got my boy, DeAndre Swift. All right, thank you very much for DeAndre Swift, but I can still make it. Your boy, Devontae Smith had a big game, so I'm living. I got 2 flex spots to play, 2 of them. I got Hollywood Brown, and I got fucking Christian Kirk. I only need like 20 points from these 2 motherfucking players. And Hollywood Brown got me a total of 0. And Christian Kirk, the first play of the game, breaks his dick in half and misses the rest of the game. So between those 2 motherfucking players, I got 3 fucking points and made me lose to Saints Joe. It kept Adam out of first fucking place. It keeps me hanging on by a thread to make the playoffs this week. So fuck Hollywood Brown. Fuck Christian Kirk. Those 2 were my 2 flex guys that I thought was like, I'm solid. Because this guy is my flex 3, meaning like both of those guys would be my flex 4, one or the other. That's a great second flex, either one of those guys. Well, the one's dead, and the other one is dead to me. So that's where that is. And
I mean,
get fired.
I am going to avenge you this week, and I will beat Saints Joe. You heard it here first on the podcast.
Well, here's the thing, guys.
I am taking over first place.
I'm playing the last place team in the league's real camping superstar, Zach Sabato. And that how apropos that he's going to be. Justin Jefferson's coming back this fucking week. I mean, it's just apropos that I'm going to lose and miss out on the playoffs because of fucking Zach Sabato's boot-ass team because he got Jefferson coming back this week. So that's mine. So that's mine.
You want to know what's crazy?
I like it.
In the Fantasy Football Bros League, 5 playoff positions are solidified. And then in our Lackawanna League, Chaz, only 2 spots are solidified.
But I'm one of them.
Crazy.
Dude, they're so
That's a tight race.
And Jay, you're saying that 5 spots are solidified in the Fantasy Football Bros League. I'm sitting at 6. Goose is right behind me with the same record, and then there's 3 other people with 1 less win. So like, depending on how this week shakes, basically I win, I'm in. But like, I could still lose and make it, or I could. You get jumped. Like, it's crazy this week how this week finishes. But I think
you're not solidified in the Lackawanna League, by the way.
Oh, I'm not. Okay,
Yeah, you
close,
could.
though.
We both could. Me and Chaz in that league are 3rd and 4th, but their teams 3 through 8 could all end up with the same record after this week. So
It's ridiculous.
Wow.
And I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure, Jay, in that league, to toot my own horn in both of these leagues, I'm number 1 in points in them. So, go me. I'm having a good, decent year. And I'm still hanging on for dear life. It just doesn't make any sense. What a weird fucking year.
I mean, you
but-
can't be too mad at Christian Kirk, bro. He broke his dick.
Sure did. He's got to get surgery. This motherfucker's got to get surgery. And since we've got a keeper league, I can't fucking drop him. I can't put him on IR because his fucking Jonathan Taylor's dick is broken sitting there. So I can't put him on IR. So now I got to have this fucking herb clogging up my bench. And, like, do I drop him? Like, what's his draft value next year? I drafted him in, like, the 7th, 8th round. There's going to be value to be had with Christian Kirk. I think he'll be higher than a 7th-round draft pick. But I don't know if I'm going to keep him. But I don't want to put him out, you know what I mean, off my roster right now either. So it's just a weird, like... Oh, my goodness. Let's move on to something a little more positive.
Time for a victory lap.
Let me continue because I know I'm talking about all my other leagues, but I'm in 5 leagues. I count 4 of them. You always hear me say that. I got my 4 main ones, and then the 5th one that I just joined to like help a friend out who needed another guy. I mean, I'm still paying for that league, but I'm not as into it. And you guys know what I mean. Do you guys probably have leagues that you like are like, that's one at the end of the bench, right?
Yeah, I have one league that's not as much as the other leagues, and I'm like,
Yeah.
if I lose that one, it's
Right,
okay.
so-
I really want the big money ones.
And this one is still $100 buy-in, but still, it's just like I in the other 4 leagues, it's like the one's the family league, the 2 leagues that we are in, and then Dave's league. So it's like they're all like I know these guys that we get together for drafts and stuff. So anyway, so out of all 5 leagues, I am in basically guaranteed winning in the playoffs, and I could still make them all if I lose with certain things happen. So if I go 5-0 this week, I'm 5-0 in the playoffs. So, and I don't have to go 5-0 either to make all 5. So it's a good position to be in. So I'm taking a victory lap on that. I'm not there yet, but I'm so close. I've never been hanging on this close in all 5 leagues. Like, I'm either, like, locked up, ready to go, or looking up at the fucking ground with my arms sticking out of the fucking gravestone. So, like, and it's a testament to how the league is, but, like, I play with good players, too. You know, I play with good people, and everyone's pretty good. We all look like we're mid because everybody's good. And that's what it is. So that's my victory lap. Dave, what do you got?
Yeah, I'll keep mine short and sweet. I'm gonna go with Mr. Joe Mixon this week. I was high. I was high on Joe Mixon this year. Not super high. I didn't think he was gonna be an RB1 or anything like that. But I was a lot higher than where I was seeing him go in most drafts. So I ended up with him as an RB2 or flex in a lot of leagues. And he's been solid. I mean, RB1 this week, but the actual season, he's been really solid. So I'm just gonna take a little victory lip on Joe Mixon right there, getting some awesome draft value.
Oh, Jay. Literally, Pickles walked off the screen. Your dog walked in the screen at the same time. And they were right next to each other on my screen, and it freaked me the fuck out. It freaked me the fuck out. I hope it plays that way. I'm putting a marker here. Just there we go. So I got a marker just to make sure that it might look like Pickles walked out of my room and walked into your fucking room like as your dog. He's a shapeshifter. All right, what do you got?
That would be
What
pretty
do you got,
dope, though.
What do you got, Jay? What is
my
your
victory lap is going to be DK, 39
That's
points.
cool.
I've never been a big fan of him, but I took him this year, and he's kind of been like up and down, and he helped me out big time this week. So
He sure did. Thanks to the elite Geno Smith. Slinging. I'm literally walking around New York City with an earbud in, listening, because in my 2 big leagues, I have Geno Smith and Dak Prescott, and I was just like in heaven, walking around the streets in New York City, like, yes, and I'm talking to myself in New York City. Nobody bats an eye. It's New York fucking City. He was great.
No, as long as you're not like shitting on the sidewalk, I mean, you're fine.
Get
Yeah,
off
for
the
sure.
camera.
Or in the subway or anything. Yeah.
New York City was a lot cleaner than I expected, but more on that later. Get your tail out of the camera, bro. All right, Adam, what you got?
I'm sticking with the fantasy theme here, boys. I'm kind of on the fantasy train right now. I have put together the best fantasy season across all my leagues this year. Since playing fantasy football, I have made the playoffs in 100% in 2 leagues. I am dogfighting for the other 2 leagues. And one I just kind of gave up on, which is fine because that's the one I traded some picks, or I traded some players for some draft picks, and I set myself up nicely for next year, which is great. I have 3 first-round picks in that league, and I think I have a second, a third, and 2 fourths, and 2 fifths. So I front-loaded my draft for next year. But yeah, overall, with playoffs coming up next week or the week after, I set myself up nicely for a nice fantasy payout. Hopefully, that's the end goal. But yeah, I'm gonna go with that. That's my victory lap this week, and locking up those playoffs and having my best overall season of fantasy football.
Like the best of all time. Of all time.
Of all time. I'm always in the playoffs in at least one league, but this year it's like now I'm in the playoffs in 2 leagues, and I have a chance to be in the playoffs this week in the other 2 leagues, and then the one, like I said, is just done. But set myself up nicely next year.
Very
So
nice, very nice. All
Let's
right,
get
we're going
it.
to keep moving along because we're already at an hour. So we've got a few more segments. So let's move down to the famous, the world famous. Everybody get your fucking pencils out and write this information down because you need to start this guy this week. Jay, who is your fuck this guy?
Well, this might help Adam out then, I guess. Fuck this guy this week is Chris Godwin. He's been single digits for 5 straight weeks.
Yes, Jay, thank you so much for saying that.
You're welcome. So when he puts up like 20 this week, you can thank me.
Oh, I will 100% thank you.
So if you win
I'll be
any
texting
money,
in the
you
group chat.
owe me a little kickback.
Jay, just
dude,
remind
I'm
everybody
betting.
who last week's fuck this guy was.
Who was it? I don't even remember.
Not that. Well, damn it, stop. Hang on, let's try that again. What was it, Christian Watson?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And I believe he had, what,
27 points.
Some points.
Yeah.
And I believe last week you kind of had the same thing with Tony Pollard.
Yeah. I brought Tony Pollard back from the dead, so everyone that has Tony Pollard in fantasy owes me big time.
Very much. So let's see if Jay's back on track or if we get a big week from Chris Godwin. It's interesting to see. All right, so we'll go with Zags' stone cold lock of the week. You pulled it out, Dave.
I did. I'm not gonna say that it was pretty, and I'm not gonna say that it wasn't close. But you know what, boys? It doesn't matter. All that matters is we covered, and the fantasy
Bingo.
football bros are 4-1. Anybody from the Ravens, if you're watching, fuck you. We should have been 5-0. Okay,
What if
so
Ray Lewis is watching?
I'm not gonna. I'm sorry, Ray. I'm not gonna disrespect that man. He'll fucking murder me.
He
in
changed
3
his tone
seconds.
real quick.
Yeah, he did.
And he'll murder me and get away with it. We all know how that goes. Okay. Anyway,
Sick burn.
we are going to go back to the well, and we're going to take another -4 line here. But this one I feel is a little bit safer, and we are going to go with the Houston Texans -4 against the putrid fucking New York Jets. Here's why that is it. And here's why I love this line, right? The Houston Texans were -5-5 until Zach Wilson was named the starting quarterback. When Zach Wilson was named the starting quarterback, that line moved to -4. So for some god-awful reason, they think that Zach Wilson is an improvement to this team. Like, Houston Texans -4, what a gift. Lock it up, boys. Lock it up.
Let's put it in perspective because I called out the Texans against Broncos at -4, I believe. Wasn't it?
-3.5. So right there. Yeah, right,
So
right
I
there.
called that as like wrong because the Broncos play Broncos are hot and playing good, and why they covered the spread and it was close. The Broncos were hot and playing well. The Jets certainly aren't.
No.
Putrid. I
So, it's a hell of a lot.
I do not understand this.
It's
so that
wild
is my
that the quarterback that's been benched 47 times in the last 2 seasons changes
Causing a 1.5 point change.
Yeah.
Yeah, changes it for the better. I
Yeah.
was assuming that this line would move to like a -6.5 when Zach Wilson was named the starting quarterback. No, it moved the other way. They think the Jets are no better with Zach Wilson.
I mean,
you are
they're
wrong.
right. They're right, though. They're better with Zach Wilson than that other guy.
Well, I mean,
I don't
he's
know.
on the couch now, so I mean,
Doyle Rule was
Wow.
so good he got benched or cut. I mean,
Yeah, so I
by
don't
the
know. I
way,
don't
guys, do you know why Tim Boyle was on that team? I'll give you one guess who his best friend is.
care. Oh, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that's why he's on the team.
Yeah.
And I heard rumors that there was pressure from within the organization to start Tim Boyle over Zach Wilson. Wonder where that fucking pressure came from. Fucking loser. Very good. Chad Stanley approves of this message, Dave, down here.
I like it.
So yeah,
Stanley approves.
let's go 5-1. Lay it down on the Houston Texans -4 this week, boys.
All
I
right.
like it. I
All
like
right,
the
Evan.
Texans. I never thought I would say that, but wow.
yeah, they've been good.
They're spunky. They're playing hard. They're
They
playing like the Lions, but not as dumb sometimes.
Right.
Right? I mean, that's fair to say, right?
Yeah.
It's fair to say. Yeah, no, it's fair to say.
All right, Adam. Who's your
Boys,
daily value?
Before I get to my daily bargains, Chaz, hit that gong for me.
All right, I got you.
The fantasy graveyard pick of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Khalil Herbert of the Chicago Bears. And the reason being is you have a healthy Justin Fields who runs the ball all the fucking time. I know Herbert was hurt for a lot of the season, and people were like, oh, great, he put up 21 points like 1 week of the season. Great. He came back and put up 5 and 5 against Detroit and Minnesota, had the bye week. They're playing Detroit, Cleveland, Arizona, Atlanta, Green Bay. Some pretty good defenses in there of late. Khalil Herbert, you're in my graveyard, bud. I'm sorry, but Roshan Johnson has been playing better than you, and I think he is the guy moving forward, at least for the end of the season, because he is a rookie, and they want to see him. And Khalil Herbert, we don't care about you anymore.
Are you
Graveyard.
forgetting how well the other guy's been playing? Like in
Donta Foreman, yeah, he's been playing very well.
very well too. Yeah.
And all 3 running backs are healthy, and I think Khalil Herbert is going to get outplayed again. So for the time being, in the graveyard, Khalil Herbert. Now, what we've all been waiting for, my daily bargain this week. I have a couple guys here, but I'm only going to go with one, okay? And the reason being is because Puka Nacua is out this week, okay? And they are playing the Ravens, who I think will key on Cooper Kupp. My daily bargain this week is Tutu Atwell. He's $5,200 on FanDuel. Let me pull up his stats here. He hasn't been great, and I will admit that. But with Puka Nacua out, I think he's going to have a good season. And like I said, he's only $5,200. So if you're looking to throw in a flex guy, Tutu Atwell is your guy. He has had some good games, and he started the season very well. 17, 14, 17. Okay, then he kind of slowed down a little bit when they really found that Puka Nacua was really good. And Cooper Kupp was coming back, so they kind of took the focus away. And Van Jefferson is absolutely useless. Do not ever even speak that name.
Bro, I don't even think he's there anymore. I believe he's on Atlanta.
Did he actually? Did he get cut? I don't even know if he got cut. I didn't even know that. Oh, even
Am I
better.
wrong, Dave? I think
Perfect.
he's on Atlanta.
Listen, Tutu Atwell, he's a great deep threat. He's fast. He can catch the ball. I like Tutu this week with Nacua out. My daily pick.
Very nice. Are you
It's
guys
200 on
research?
FanDuel.
Are you one of you doing the research on Van Jefferson?
Yeah,
for
I
me?
am right now. Yeah, he's on the Falcons.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He could.
Oh, even better.
He's
Good.
put up,
Even more useless.
He's
Even more useless.
he's got
Perfect.
30 points on the season. So
He's learning all that great route running from Kyle Pitts.
Right.
I mean, they can run great routes all they want, and then they just not throw him the ball or run the ball well and be first in the division for some reason. I don't understand. They don't run the ball well. They don't throw the ball well. First in the division by 2 games.
Yeah.
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 It makes no
Insane.
sense. It makes no sense. All right, guys.
There it is. 2-2 as well.
We're going
Get
with
it.
my start of the week. And you know what, guys? You know what, guys? We're coming in to the most wonderful time of the year. We're coming into Christmas time. And you get those warm and fuzzy feelings in Christmas time. Adam's got the sweater on right now. So I'm feeling a little Christmas spirit, y'all. And when I think of Christmas spirit, Dave's got the hat. I like it. Santa Dave over there. Zag the Claus, if you will. So
Hey.
feeling the Christmas spirit. Ready? We're going to channel some Christmas energy, guys. Hang on. Breathe in. And...
Wow!
What about that?
Didn't I ever tell you about Bumbles?
What about Bumbles?
I reformed this Bumble. He wants a job. Looky what he can do.
We are going with Bumbles 2.0 himself, David Montgomery. Dan Campbell has had enough with the speed and the explosiveness of Jameer Gibbs, as well as the speed and explosiveness of Jamal Williams, Jamison Williams. You two motherfuckers, you need to slow down and sit the fuck down, young men. Sit the fuck down. Sam Laporta, 47 passes to Sam Laporta. David Montgomery, feed him. Keep feeding him. I want 33 attempts rushing from David Montgomery this week. But, okay, so that's a push. But David Montgomery this week, it's the Christmas time. The weather's getting cold. They're playing the Chicago Bears, right, who are not a very good defense, I believe. And they're playing the comforts of home, so maybe it could be more of a passing game. But I don't buy it. I've said it all year. He doesn't give a fuck about what's right for the team or the explosion. He's going to do things his way. People are starting to question how he's using the running backs, and he's just the type of idiot that's going to double down on the running. He's going to double down on David Montgomery. David Montgomery this week is going to be my start of the week. If you're worried about starting him, don't worry. Start him. Like I said, when I say start of the week, 15 points, but I'm really thinking 20. But 15 minimum. So if he hits the 15 threshold, that's good. My start of the week last week, Zach Moss, not so well.
Yeah, he was my daily bargain last week,
Yeah.
which really sucked, but, is what it is.
I hope you're right this week. So
Bumbles bounce, baby. Bumbles bounce is going to go.
I like it.
I love the pick. Again, who's he going against this week?
He is going against
The Bears.
Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears.
You think he's got a little animosity? You think he wants to have a good game this week?
What do we call that in the fantasy football world?
A little bit of a revenge game.
That is the revenge game. And you know Dan Campbell loves his revenge. He's going to bite your ankles and rip your legs off, and he's going to run it down your throat.
And here's a little update about David Montgomery played against Chicago 3 weeks ago, and he had 17.8 points. That's a win. If he gets 17.8 points, that's a win in my book. And Dave's right about the revenge game narrative. I didn't even really put that into question. That solidifies it for sure. We had a big revenge game last week. Do you remember who James Conner used to play for?
Oh, the old Steelers.
And
Yeah.
I believe he had like 28 points or something stupid like
Something like that.
against me in the Fantasy Football World League. Yeah, I think that's what. So, yeah, revenge game narrative. Good job, Dave. Thanks for pulling that out of my ass.
No. It's I would be hard pressed to not guarantee that David Montgomery finds the end zone this week. He's going to be running.
Yeah,
he's going to be
100%.
running with a purpose. So
Once
Speaking
again,
of finding
guys.
the end zone,
Bumbles bounce.
Sorry, I needed it one more time.
let me tell you this, and Dave, you're gonna love this or hate it. I don't know. Along the gambling lines, my brother, country music superstar Eric Van Houten, every single Sunday morning asks me, "Hey, who's gonna score a touchdown today?" I texted him, David Montgomery, Sam Laporta. Guess who he didn't start? David Montgomery. He took Jameer Gibbs to score a touchdown instead. Guess who scored? David Montgomery.
Do people not
That's-
watch football?
that's the
Sam
stinger.
Laporta.
That's the stinger right there.
Do people
That
not
was
watch
a tough
football?
loss because that was the only one that did not score was Jameer Gibbs.
Ridiculous. All right, guys, we're coming to an end here, but I do want to touch on. I had a great vacation, everybody. I just want to throw it out there for the people at home. I was in New York
little
City.
farewell tour from Kiss.
Final two Kiss shows, allegedly. I don't expect that to be the final two Kiss shows. I expect them to pop up on fucking, big festivals here and there, playing in Vegas. But, I never expect to see Kiss playing in Buffalo, New York ever again. they're done with that aspect of their life. So down in New York City, 2 nights of the Kiss concert. I had tickets for night 1. It was fantastic. I didn't have tickets for night 2. All these scalpers wanted so much money. I didn't do it. Saturday morning, I'm looking. It's still, and I'm talking like the ticket alone. When I bought my ticket, not scalper, was like $250. So that's not cheap. But these people are asking for like $600 minimum. Wouldn't do it. I go to the Statue of Liberty. I'm walking around Liberty Island, a lot of walking. I walk up the Statue of Liberty steps to the pedestal, 200 steps, and that's great for an old-ass fucking man like myself. Mind you also, for some god reason, it was 60 degrees in New York City. So when you're used to Buffalo, 30s, and it's 60 and you have a hoodie on and you're walking up 200 flight of stairs, it doesn't work so well. It's not the best time, when something like that going on. So I do all that walking. I'm already exhausted. It's 11:30 in the morning. I'm already exhausted. I get back on the ferry. I look on my StubHub. There's one ticket available for $250. I'm like, as fast as I can. I nail the ticket. I grab it. $250, which is basically what I paid for my other seat. The seat was a little worse, so I'm sure the guy made a little money, but I didn't care. It was fine. So I see the last show. No spoilers. It was the same exact show as Friday. There was nothing special, nothing different.
At least you found out.
But I got
you would have kicked yourself if it was different.
Did you stay after for the little thing about the future of Kiss, whatever?
Yeah. So what it was like. So the show happens. It's great. Same show, but the show was great. I was happy to be there, and I was more happy to be there for the last Kiss show rather than the second last Kiss show. So like I got to be at both. So at the end of the show, they say there's going to be a major announcement of Kiss's future in the band. So everyone's speculation, and this happens in wrestling all the time. People just start talking. Oh, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen, and that doesn't happen, and then they get mad at wrestling. So they'll be like, oh my God, The Rock's going to come back and wrestle Roman Reigns, and it doesn't happen. And they're like, I can't believe WWE did that to us when WWE never said anything. Like the fans made it up in their head, right? So that's what Kiss fans are doing. I'm calling you out, Kiss Army. Kiss Army's doing this shit because they're like, oh my God, it's the last show in New York City. They're going to bring out Peter Criss and Ace Frehley. And never happened. So everyone's mad at Kiss for not bringing Peter Criss and Ace Frehley out when they never said they were going to do it, when literally they interviewed everybody and everybody said no. It's not going to happen. They asked Ace Frehley, and Ace Frehley said, no, they never invited me. So everyone's mad. So then now there's new speculations. Like, what are they going to do after? They're going to announce a residency in Vegas, which I still think they might do. And, you know what they're going to do? They're going to announce Kiss 2.0. They're going to replace all the guys in their makeup with new, younger guys and keep the band going. Which, by the way, I would be all for. Please, I'll play the part of Paul Stanley. But then the rumors get worse because Paul Stanley's son, Evan, his band opened up the show. And Evan's fantastic singer. I don't want to say he's good as his dad was, but he's a much better guitar player than his dad was. So then people are thinking, see, Evan's here singing. He's going to replace Paul Stanley. And then everybody's like, oh, Gene Simmons' son Nick plays the bass and he's making music. He's going to replace Gene Simmons with their kids and then 2 new members. And then to make things worse, Gene Simmons is Nick Simmons is doing an interview at the show. So the rumors are going more like, oh my God, they're going to announce Kiss 2.0, which again, I would have been happy with. And it gets to the end of the show and Kiss says, we're moving into the virtual world and we spent all this money and we're made Kiss avatars. And now there's going to be a Kiss experience. So kind of like the hologram avatar thing. So whether it's in Vegas or it's a touring thing, it's going to be like Cirque du Soleil with Kiss's music and show. The big extravaganza with them on stage as avatars and holograms, which, whatever.
Hey, to be honest with you, have you ever seen the Cirque du Soleil show in Vegas?
Oh, wow, it's fun.
Incredible. I had the absolute pleasure of seeing the Beatles Love Show, and it was a Cirque du Soleil show to all Beatles music. It was one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. If they do that with Kiss, I can only imagine how wild they can get. Especially
because their show is so big. So, like, if that was on tour or if that was playing somewhere big, would I go see it? Absolutely, I would. But I would have preferred the live band thing. But
Yeah.
they're smart in the sense, and I know this is more of an episode for Robbie Vegas, and I'm sure me and Robbie Vegas will have this conversation. They're in a position now that, say this works out, this doesn't have to be an arena show. This could just be a Shays show for people, Broadway, wherever you see like Broadway shows. That could be that, and tour around the world.
That would be Broadway
for the next 50 years, and Kiss can still make money, right? And it could just live on forever. So, and Kiss tries to be at the forefront of new technology. Like Gene Simmons was on Bitcoin or early. Kiss was one of the first bands really pushing NFTs, which are a joke, but they tried to be, on that. So I just wanted to touch base on that because I know I got a lot of Kiss fans. Like, I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm so mad on it. I don't care. If the band lives on forever, that's not a bad thing. So that's where I go with that. So, real quick, Dave, what do you think about that idea with Kiss?
Leave it to Gene Simmons to figure out how to make money with him not being in a band anymore.
Right, exactly.
Didn't he trademark the $?
Well, he has
Or something crazy like that.
His drink.
That anytime somebody uses.
Soda.
Oh,
so that's probably what you're going for.
I think.
maybe.
I think
I don't know. Go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
I think the Cirque du Soleil would be sweet because I actually worked doing stagehand stuff for a while, so I set up a lot of concerts, and I've seen a lot of Cirque du Soleil shows, and they are all very, very cool. They really, really are. The Avatar thing, though, I just they've tried this before. They've tried this with I've seen this done with Michael Jackson. I've seen this done with like Prince, Tupac,
Prince,
even and it's just like.
It does not hit the same.
No.
Yeah, it just doesn't hit right. Like I would not want to go see an Avatar concert. I just wouldn't.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? So
Avatar is a great Swedish metal band, by the way. So back up of that.
Swedish Avatar. I will come to your show. I'm so sorry. I'm just saying. In general, avatars, I probably would not go to a concert.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I don't think I would. If it was a Cirque du Soleil and they were just like there on stage, like sure, because I'm seeing a whole lot more entertainment in a Cirque du Soleil show than just the band like being a hologram. But if it was like a show at Shays and they were like, "Oh, come see Kiss," but it's not Kiss, it's their shadows. It's like
I'll tell you what, that's.
I don't think I would ever go to that.
That's gonna put big fans off and stuff like that. But let me tell you, I just was at 2 back-to-back sold-out Kiss shows at Madison Square Garden, right? And Paul Stanley, my idol, tattooed on my arm, my biggest inspiration in music of all time. Absolutely awful. Cannot sing anymore. Just awful. I mean, I could admit it. The band's cooking. The band sounds great. Paul Stanley sings more than half of the songs, even when he's like talking to the crowd. Awful. He can't do it. Let me tell you how many people gave a fuck. 0.
Right.
Because they're there, the show, the fireworks, Gene Simmons spitting fire, spitting out blood, Paul Stanley flying into the crowd, the drums rising, all the fireworks, all the smoke and fire and confetti and ribbons. Wild concert. Nobody gave a fuck. So that's why I think there's a chance, because most of the people, like me, I would go see it, but not always. But like the people that never got a chance to see Kiss or just want to live the Kiss experience, I think it could do something. I don't know. So. We won't dwell.
I'm not saying that it's not going to do anything. It's just something that wouldn't interest me to go see.
We'll check out soon for the All Bets Are Off podcast, Robbie Vegas. I'm sure him and I will break down the end of Kiss. It will probably be emotional because it was emotional. I'm not going to lie. I had tears in my eyes. That's the end of my favorite band. I've seen them 30 times. This was my first concert when I was 10 years old seeing this band, So, like, it was a big deal for me. So... Well, we came to an end, guys. Been a long episode, but we got the boys back in town. It feels good. We had a lot to talk about, so I want to wish you all good luck. Fight, scratch, and claw your way into the playoffs, because by this episode next week, boys, we will know our fates and if we're in the playoffs or not. So I pretty much know Dave not in most of his leagues because he drafted off there. the one you have him, you're in, right?
Dave's been in a dogfight all season.
Yeah,
it's been a long season, boys. It's been a long season. Why do you think I'm a degenerate gambler? My season was dead week 2.
Well, you know what it is him and Jay switched places. Jay had a rough year last year. It's just Dave's turn.
He did. Yeah, Jay, you had a really rough season last year.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Hell
Until
yeah.
then, we will see you next time, guys. Peace.
Later,
See you later,
guys.
guys.
Later, boys.